Remember Fox News running the fake onion story? We talked about it last week, Lewis. I thought this must be an onion story, but it is not. Kentucky is building a replica of Noah's Ark. And we tweeted about this last week, and I got a bunch. Most people thought it was a funny story. People don't like the fact that state money, government money is being used to build an item from religious history with questionable validity as a historic, what would we say, as a non-religious historic item. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Well, I know I'll get reamed for that comment anyway, but I believe that it is fair. Now, people were emailing me saying, my comment was, number one, to build a replica of something, doesn't it need to be real in the first place? That's question number one. And I guess the answer is no. I mean, we could have for example, what's the name of the ship in Star Trek?
The Enterprise.
The Enterprise. There are replicas of the Enterprise, and that is not something that existed, but you can still create a replica. Fair enough. If it did exist, or even if it didn't, to create a replica, don't you need to know the exact measurements?
Right. It's
Now,
not so much a replica as a representation or a, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know what word you're looking for, but my point is, people emailed me and said, the Bible says how to build it. So I actually looked into this. I don't look at the Bible. It is just not something I look at. But somebody said Genesis 6:15. I got a number of emails about this. Tells us the specs. And I looked at it, and it doesn't contain the specs. It contains the dimensions, the material it should be made of, and what to coat it in. It should be coated in pitch, I think. So a replica, I looked up the definition, and the definition I found is a replica is a copy that is relatively indistinguishable from the original. So if I said to you, Lewis, I want you to build a 1957 Chevy. Here's the specs. It's 12 feet long and 6 feet wide and 4 feet tall, whatever. I'm just making these numbers up. It's made mostly of metal, and you should coat it in blue paint. Could you build a replica of a 1957 Chevy with that explanation?
No.
If you knew what cars looked like, I guess you could build a car.
You could build a car.
But to say that it's a replica of a 1957 Chevy is completely bogus.
I think I would need a picture of it.
You would need a picture. You would need
Many
more
pictures
description
of it.
So there's a number of levels where I don't agree with this. I don't believe that government funds should be going to build Noah's Ark. And we have some audio from, there was some kind of what would we even call this? A press conference of some kind. And it is bizarre what is being discussed here by the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Let's just take a listen to a little bit of this.
We're very excited about it.
Legal questions aside, if a group of atheists or a group of Muslims were making this announcement, would you have them here in the Capitol to make that announcement?
You know, each application stands on its own, and whatever groups want to come in here and talk about investing and creating tourist attractions, we're certainly open to talking with them.
Will there be dinosaurs on the Ark? You have these questions for them.
I'm sure we'll have representative kinds of animals on the Ark to include dinosaurs.
Brilliant question, Lewis. And you know exactly what that's getting at. If we are to believe what Genesis says about Noah's Ark, then we must believe that the Earth is only 6,000 years old. And then, of course, it couldn't be that dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. They must have lived simultaneously. So will there be dinosaurs on the replica of Noah's Ark? Astute question, would you not say?
Funny question.
Please don't build this thing. I guess it's happening.
This is the most ridiculous use of government funds I've
But
ever
Lewis,
seen.
it'll create jobs. It'll be a tourist attraction.
No, I don't think it'll be a tourist attraction.
All right, we've heard from Lewis.
I don't think people from the next town would go take a look at that thing.
to see a quote replica.
Right, and would you pay to see it?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't.